Let's go. We are live with UFC Seattle weigh-ins. Let's go. We got Song Yadong first up to the scale.
Song Yadong.
Let's go. The first half of the main event is being weighed in right now. Let's go. Let's see if everybody makes weight or if we have a couple of weight misses. I think everybody will be fine, though. I don't think anybody's going to miss weight. The only ones you have to worry about is maybe the last minute fights like Oster Vanderford and all them. But they fight year-round, so they're ready. What's the weight? If you guys are tuning in, we got UFC Seattle weigh-ins live right now going down. Song Yadong, the first one to be weighed in.
Official weight 136 pounds for Song Yadong.
136 pounds for Song Yadong. Let's go. Now hopefully we got Ion Cutelaba. He's going up against Ibo Aslan. That's a banger. Cutelaba looks jacked. He looks like he's in great shape for this fight against Ibo Aslan. He doesn't need the box, whereas Song Yadong did have the box.
Official weight 205 pounds for Ion Cutelaba.
205 pounds for Cutelaba. He makes weight.
Next to the scale, Fili.
Let's go, Fili, one of the underdog picks of this week. Bro, he's got a load of tattoos, man. He's got some sick tattoos in there. He's got the lantern on his neck, the hawk on his shoulder. Damn.
Official weight 145 pounds for Fili.
Let's go. 145 pounds for Fili. He makes weight.
Next to the scale, Matsumoto.
Matsumoto, who is going up against Rob Font. Matsumoto on the scale. He looks good. Doesn't look like it was a rough weight cut.
139 pounds for
Matsumoto. Let's go. He makes weight.
Next to the scale, Silva.
Let's go. Silva. Silva walking up to the scales. He's going up against Melsik Baghdasaryan. I think he's going to beat Melsik Baghdasaryan. I think he's going to KO Baghdasaryan, to be completely honest, as he slowly gets up on the scale. We got the fighting nerds. Silva.
Official weight 145 and a half for Silva.
Silva, 145 and a half. Makes weight for his bout against Baghdasaryan.
Next in scale, Modestas, Bukauskas.
We got Bukauskas versus Rafael Cerqueira. Let's go. Bukauskas He looks lean. He looks jacked. He looks ready to go to war against Rafael Cerqueira, who got absolutely destroyed by Ibo Aslan.
Official weight 203 for Modestas Bukauskas.
203 for Bukauskas.
Next in the scale, Rob Font.
Let's go. Rob Font. One of the other underdog picks of this week. I think he's being slept on. He just fraud checked Kyler Phillips, and now people think Gene Matsumoto is going to beat him? I don't know. Matsumoto doesn't have the skill that Kyler Phillips brought to Rob Font, so I think this is a huge step up for Matsumoto.
Official weight 138 pounds for Rob Font.
Let's go. 138 pounds for Rob Font.
Next to the scale, Alonzo.
It is a catchweight bout between him and Matsumoto. If you're wondering why he's 138 pounds, it is a catchweight. Let's go. Alonzo Menifield looking to come back after multiple losses against Julius Walker.
Official weight 205 pounds for Alonzo Menifield.
205 pounds for Alonzo Menifield. I think he's going to destroy Walker. Though Walker does have a grappling advantage. Let's go. Ibo Aslan. Dude, that fight is going to be an absolute war between him and Cutelaba. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that. Ibo Aslan looks jacked as always. He's coming for another first round finish, hopefully.
Official weight 205 pounds for Ibo Aslan.
205 pounds for Ibo Aslan. Let's go. He's coming to destroy Cutelaba.
Next to the scale, Melsik Baghdasaryan.
Baghdasaryan making his way to the scale. Let's go. Baghdasaryan is going up against Gene Silva, one of the fighting nerds who is up and coming, who is thriving, who is absolutely destroying everybody. And I don't see a chance for Baghdasaryan.
Official weight 145 pounds for Melsik.
145 pounds for Baghdasaryan. Let's go. He makes weight.
Next to the scale, Austin Vanderford.
Let's go. Paige Van Zant's boyfriend, Austin Vanderford. Let's see if he makes weight. He's got a bunch of sick tattoos too. He's got the panther on his abs. He's got the heart down on his chest.
Official weight 174 pounds for Austin Vanderford.
174 pounds for Austin Vanderford. Let's go. I think he's live to beat Nikita. I really do. Eric McConico making the walk to the scale. So far, no weight misses. This is great.
Official weight 184 for Eric.
Let's go. 184 for Eric McConico. He's going up against Nursulton Ruziboev. And I think Boev is going to deliver. I think he's going to beat McConico. There we go. We got Ruziboev next. Ruziboev, man, his skills and the opponents he's been up against, like Buckley, insane.
Official weight 184 for Nursulton Ruziboev.
Let's go. 184 for Ruziboev. I think he's going to beat Eric McConico. I think that this is going to be a great back and forth bout, but I think Ruziboev catches him. I think his striking is a lot better than McConico. And now we got Rafael Cerqueira making his entrance to the scale. See if he can do any better in this fight, because he got absolutely starched. 204 for Rafael Cerqueira. He got absolutely starched against his oh my god, Ibo Aslan in his debut. I can't talk.
Next to the scale, Javid, Basharat.
I'm a little under the weather, you know. Let's go Basharat. Basharat going up against Ricky Simone. I think that's a great matchup. I think Basharat has the outside striking. He's a little bit slicker. I think he could get the decision win. I think that this fight goes over. I think it hits the scorecards.
Official weight 136 for Javid, Basharat.
Let's go. 136 for Javid Basharat. I'm excited. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Next to the scale, Julius Walker.
We got Julius Walker making his walk to the scale. What kind of zesty walk was that? Dude, Julius Walker is... I don't think he's getting through Menifield.
205 for Julius Walker.
Let's go. Julius Walker makes weight at 205 pounds. Dude, I don't see him beating Alonzo Menifield, man. We got the co-main event, the first half of the co-main event in Brendan Allen. Let's go. Brendan Allen is really, really good.
Official weight 186 pounds for Brendan Allen.
Let's go. 186 pounds for Brendan Allen. I like Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, though. I think grappling-wise, they have the same grappling skill set. They're just as
Melquizael, Costa.
well-versed as each other in terms of grappling. And then in terms of striking, I think Anthony Hernandez is a lot slicker, a lot quicker on the feet. He's more explosive. I think he's going to be able to tag up Brendan Allen on the feet and use his grappling to defensively stay on the feet.
Official weight 145 pounds for Melquizael Costa.
Melquizael Costa makes weight at 145 pounds. Now we're just waiting for the next fighter to walk up. Everybody has made weight so far, and everybody has looked good. Nobody looks like it was a hard weight cut or anything like that. We still got a few people to go. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez being one of them, as well as Henry Cejudo. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button and check out some of my videos. We got UFC Seattle going down this weekend. I put out my predictions video as well as my this week's best UFC bets. So go ahead and go check that out if you guys haven't. As we sit here and wait for the next fighter to come up to the scales.
Next to the scale,
Nick Klein up to the scales next. He is going up against Mansur Abdul-Malik. And I have Mansur Abdul-Malik over Nick Klein.
Official weight 186 pounds for Nick Klein.
Let's go. Nick Klein makes weight at 186 pounds. Let's go. Just a few more fighters left. So far, everybody has made weight, like I said previously. And I'm excited for UFC Seattle. There are so many good fights on this card that I'm excited for. If you guys are tuning in, let me know who you guys have for the main and co-main event of UFC Seattle. I am on the Song Yadong side. I think he's going to get the technical knockout over Henry Cejudo, who really just isn't taking the fight game as seriously as he used to. He doesn't have the urgency nor the drive that he used to. Yes, he wants to go back for another belt, but I don't see it happening. I think Song Yadong is going to ruin that. I think he's going to get the technical knockout. I see him ground and pounding or even landing an overhand on Henry Cejudo, putting him down. And for the co-main event, we got Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. And I like Anthony Hernandez. I think that he's going to use his grappling, like I said, to stay on the feet, outstrike, outwork, and out-damage a Brendan Allen. I think his striking is a lot better. I think he also brings more of a threat in the striking department in terms of knockout power, also explosiveness. I think Anthony Hernandez has this. I think he's got the striking advantage. I think in terms of grappling, he fares just as well as Brendan Allen in the grappling department and has even quicker transitions, in my opinion. So I like Anthony Fluffy Hernandez to beat Brendan Allen. And he previously beat him before, and I think he's going to beat him again. And then we got the featured fight of the night in Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. And this one is very interesting to me, seeing as Rob Font is plus money, even though he just got done fraud checking Kyler Phillips, who was supposed to be the next up-and-coming beast. But now they hand him Gene Matsumoto, and everybody thinks Gene Matsumoto is going to beat him? Hell no. Gene Matsumoto is not beating Rob Font. Rob Font has way better striking. He's way more slick in terms of striking. He also has that jab to keep Gene Matsumoto at bay and not let him get too close in distance to kind of use that grappling of his. I also think that Rob Font, in terms of grappling, will be able to fare even better than he did against Kyler Phillips in terms of grappling. Kyler Phillips is a way better grappler than Matsumoto, in my opinion. Not only that, I see Rob Font damaging Matsumoto. I see him landing at will and damaging Matsumoto to where Matsumoto can't handle it. I think Rob Font gets it via decision, but I think that Rob Font is going to destroy Gene Matsumoto in terms of striking. Matsumoto has good kicks, though. He has really good kicks, but I don't see a kick landing. I think it's very unlikely for that kick to land. I think Rob Font is defensively really good in terms of striking. And then we got Gene Silva versus Melsik Baghdasaryan. I like Gene Silva. I think he gets the knockout here. I think he's an exceptional striker with devastating knockout power and deadly accuracy. And I think Baghdasaryan has never been up against the level of competition that Gene Silva brings. Not only that, he really just doesn't bring enough of a striking threat, I feel like. Yes, he has good grappling. Yes, he has good grappling, but again, I don't see him taking down Gene Silva. I think Gene Silva has good enough grappling to defensively keep it on the feet. And let's go ahead and go back to the weigh-ins with Henry Cejudo on the scales. The other half of the main event.
135 pounds for Henry Cejudo.
Let's go. 135 pounds for Henry Cejudo. Anthony Hernandez is the only one left, I believe. So we're just waiting on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Oh, and Nikolay. Nikolay, Fluffy, and Malik Abdul-Malik. If you guys are tuning in, let me know who you guys got for the main and co-main event, as well as the featured fight of the night between Rob Font and Matsumoto. Now we're just waiting. Let's go ahead and go back to this. Let's talk about the fights as we wait for them to come out and weigh in between Fluffy and Nikolay. So let's go ahead and talk about Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. Walker has, for one, never been up against the level of competition that Alonzo Menifield brings. For two, Menifield is on a losing streak, but he has wins up against really, really good competition. He has wins over Jimmy Crute, Dustin Jacoby, who is an absolute animal. Yes, he has 2 knockout losses in his recent losses, so we don't know really how chin is going to fare. That is something that is a little bit suspect to me. But I think that he could get right back on the horse with this win over Julius Walker. Walker's going to look to take this down to the ground, use that grappling advantage of his, because of the fact that Alonzo Menifield kind of has a suspect grappling game, which I agree with. I think that we could see Alonzo Menifield use a little bit of the brute strength to beat Julius Walker in terms of grappling. I really think so. I really think that he's going to be the stronger fighter. I get that technique does favor over strength. I'm not denying that. But I think that Menifield will be able to snub some of the takedowns. I see him maybe getting taken down, but I also see him landing the power shot. I think that Menifield, if he lands the damage aspect of it, Julius Walker won't be able to handle it. I really don't believe so. I think Menifield is UFC caliber. I do think that he's been having a rough time in the UFC, but I think he's going to bounce back with this win over Walker, and I think he's going to do it in devastating fashion. I could see him getting the knockout finish over Julius Walker. I really can. He's very heavy-handed. He's got some nasty hooks. I like Alonzo Menifield. And then we got the next fight in Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. This one is a straight banger. I mean, they are going to be throwing some slugging shots at each other. And I believe Ibo Aslan is going to be the last one standing. I think Cutelaba is going to get knocked out. Now, Cutelaba is going to look to try and mix in some grappling, I believe, to kind of diminish the power and the gas tank of Ibo Aslan. But Aslan has relatively decent grappling in the sense of defensively, like takedown defense. He has relatively good takedown defense. So I think I got to go Ibo Aslan. I think that he could deliver a knockout finish, and that's why I'm picking Ibo Aslan to beat Cutelaba. I think Cutelaba is going to get tagged early, though Ibo Aslan does sometimes leave a opening for counter shots. I don't believe Cutelaba will land it. I think Ibo Aslan will land before him and knock him out. And then we got Fili versus Costa. Costa is going to straight up look to take this down to the ground. I think striking-wise, Fili has the striking advantage. I think that grappling-wise, he's still a decent, relatively good grappler. It's not like he's only a straight striker. I think Fili has relatively good grappling to mix it in with. I think that we could see him use the grappling in the sense of staying on the feet. Again, I think he's going to use it to stay on the feet. I think we could see Costa try and go in for takedowns and Fili reversing the takedowns and getting some instead and garnering some control time. I think Fili and Costa goes the distance, and I see Fili getting the better of him. I think that he outstrikes him. I think that even in moments he outgrapples him. So give me Fili over Costa. And let's run it to the next fight on this card. Since these guys are taking a long time to weigh in, we still have Mansur Abdul-Malik. We still have Nikolay to weigh in. We still need, who else? Anthony Fluffy Hernandez to weigh in. Still got a lot of people that need to weigh in. But let's start to the next fight in Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Nick Klein. I like Mansur. I think he's going to knock out Nick Klein. I think he has just as good of grappling as Nick Klein and even better striking than Nick Klein. I see him brutally ending this fight via knockout on Nick Klein. I don't think Nick Klein has ever faced somebody like Mansur Abdul-Malik, and he's going to run into a brick wall, literally. Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, there we go. Nikolay is making his entrance to the scale. I agree with you, Leo. I think Basharat Simone is a banger fight, too. There are a lot of good fights on this card. I'm going to be real with you. Let's go. Nikolay looks good. I mean, he looks like he's jacked. He's lean. Doesn't look like it was a rough cut. Let's go, Nikolay. He's taking off his pants. I don't know if he missed weight or was just a tad bit too heavy. 175 pounds. 175 pounds for Veretennikov. Nikolay. Dude, how many... I like that you said that. Basharat Simone is a banger. I agree with that. I like it. Basharat Simone. I think Cutelaba Aslan is a banger as well. Somebody's getting put to sleep in that one. I think the other banger would have to be Brendan Allen and Anthony Hernandez. I think that is a straight banger as well. Nikolay versus Austin Vanderford is going down. Now we're just waiting for Fluffy Hernandez and I believe Abdul-Malik to weigh in. Those are the last two fighters. And if you're watching, let me know who you guys got in the main and co-main event. Let's go ahead and continue on with this talking about the fights. We got Ricky Simone versus Javid Basharat. I think Basharat has the striking edge. I think he's better at striking from the outside. I think he's got good high and low kicks to mix it in with. I also think he mixes in his grappling with his striking really well. I like Basharat. I think that Ricky Simone is a tough opponent. I think that this is a little bit of a step up for Basharat in competition, in which Ricky Simone is no bum, no slouch. I mean, he is a great, well-rounded fighter. I just think Basharat is up next, man. I really do. I think that though he lost to Ayman Zahabi, he had moments in that fight. He got caught with a hook that really hurt him, that I believe really kind of shifted the tide in that fight. But I don't know. I feel like Ricky Simone is a good, well-rounded fighter, but I feel like Basharat can handle him on the feet and even in the grappling department. I really do. I think Basharat is very slick, very technical. He's very hard to catch because of his footwork. He has phenomenal footwork, being able to enter and exit the pocket with ease. I like Basharat over Simone. Damn. We still are waiting for Fluffy Hernandez and Abdul-Malik. Seeming like it's a little bit of a tough weight cut for those two. As we go ahead and wait for them, we are going to go ahead and continue breaking down this card with Nikolay Veretennikov versus Austin Vanderford. And this one's an interesting one. I mean, this bout was set up very last minute. It's a catch weight bout. And I got to go with Austin Vanderford. I think that in terms of skill-wise, he has a lot of... he has a lot to... ceiling-wise. Like, what am I trying to say? He has a lot of skills, and he can improve them a lot. And I think that here against Nikolay Veretennikov, I think that striking-wise... He's got the advantage. I think that grappling-wise, he's even dangerous there. I mean, Austin Vanderford is a really highly touted prospect with really good striking, really good grappling. So is Nikolay. Nikolay is no bum, no slouch. He has good striking and good grappling. I think these are both really well-rounded fighters, and I'm excited to see who gets the better of who. I am picking Austin Vanderford. I think that he will get the better of Nikolay. I do think that this fight goes the distance, in which Austin Vanderford gets the better of him in a tit-for-tat, back-and-forth battle. And then we got the next fight in Ruziboev versus McConico. They both made weight. They both showed up, showed out, and they both look phenomenal on the scales. It wasn't a rough cut for either one of them. I am going Ruziboev over McConico. I think that Ruziboev has been up against the better competition for one. He lost to Buckley, and he went the distance with Buckley. Let's not forget that. And he had moments in that fight against Buckley. I like Ruziboev. I think that this is a huge step down in competition to Eric McConico. I think Ruziboev is going to have the striking advantage. I think he's going to be able to mix it up on the feet. He's got clean, quick combinations. He's going to mix it up to the head and to the body of Eric McConico, really break him down. And he's got high and low snappy kicks. I like Ruziboev in terms of striking. In terms of grappling, he still has relatively good grappling. Let's not forget that. He's a really, really well-rounded fighter. I like Ruziboev. I think that Eric McConico will be looking to take this down to the ground because I do believe he has a slight grappling edge over Ruziboev. But I think Ruziboev has a complete striking advantage. I think that Eric McConico relies a little bit too much on brute strength rather than technique and kind of leaves himself open when he goes for these right hands, leaving himself open to counters, and I think Ruziboev can counter him. I really do. I think that Ruziboev counters him and could possibly put him out. I really do think so. That's why my pick is Nursulton Ruziboev over Eric McConico. And with the next fight, we have Modestas Bukauskas over Rafael Cerqueira. I like Modestas Bukauskas. I think that he beats Rafael Cerqueira. Rafael Cerqueira, in his first UFC debut, got absolutely starched by Ibo Aslan. And I think that this isn't going to go his way either. I think Bukauskas is going to beat him. I think Rafael Cerqueira has never been up against the level of competition that Bukauskas brings. If you look at Rafael Cerqueira's fight, he was up against these overweight just bums. I mean, they just look fat. They didn't look in shape. They just look awful. And I think that Modestas Bukauskas is coming in this fight. He's taking it serious, and I think he's going to deliver a finish over Rafael Cerqueira. I think that Rafael Cerqueira isn't UFC material. I think that Modestas Bukauskas is going to go in there and show why he's the better fighter. He's got the striking edge. He's got devastating knockout power. He mixes up his shots really well to the head and to the body. He's got quick, clean combinations. He's also got a decent grappling skill set with relatively good takedown defense. So I got to go with Modestas Bukauskas. And we're still waiting for the last two fighters to hit the scales. We still need Mansur Abdul-Malik, and we still need the other half of the co-main event in Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which we are waiting for them to weigh in. Let's go. We are all sitting here waiting for them to hit the scales. I do think that they are having a really rough weight cut. They still got about, what, an hour? Maybe 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. If you guys are tuning in and you guys like the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and tune into my UFC Seattle predictions along with my UFC Seattle this week's best UFC bets. We got some straight bangers. Go tune into them if you want to see my lock of the week along with my parlays of the week, my confident picks, and my DGen props. Go tune into that video. Let's go ahead and look at the odds on these fights real quick while we're sitting here waiting for these other fighters to weigh in. We got the fight odds right here, and we're gonna go ahead and start from bottom to top with Austin Vanderford versus Nikolay Veretennikov. They're both sitting at a -110, straight down the middle, even. Basically a complete coin flip between these two, Austin Vanderford and Nikolay Veretennikov. I like Austin Vanderford, like I said, and I explained it previously. I think he's going to beat Nikolay. I think it's going to be a very tit-for-tat, back-and-forth battle in which Austin Vanderford wins via decision. And then we got the over 1.5 sitting at a negative 225, under 1.5 sitting at a plus 170, over 2.5 sitting at a negative 125, under 2.5 sitting at a negative 105. I like the overs. I think this fight hits the scorecards, and I think it's Austin Vanderford getting the decision win. And let's look at the prop for that. Veretennikov, Vanderford by decision sitting at a plus 200. I think that's the call. I think Vanderford gets into a tit-for-tat, very close battle with Nikolay, but I think he walks away with it 29-28. And we got the next fight in Rafael Cerqueira versus Modestas Bukauskas. And Rafael sitting at a plus 230. And Bukauskas sitting at a negative 270. Like I said previously, I like Bukauskas. I think he beats Rafael Cerqueira. I think Cerqueira isn't UFC caliber. He's going up against these trash cans, these bums in the regional scene. So I like Modestas Bukauskas. I think he's been up against better competition. I think he's also won against better competition. I think he's going to have the striking advantage. I think he's going to be able to outland, outstrike, and outwork a Rafael Cerqueira. And over 1.5 sitting at a negative 140, under 1.5 sitting at a plus 110, over 2.5 sitting at a plus 150, under 2.5 sitting at a negative 200. I like the under 2.5. I could see a finish happening in this fight, and I see Bukauskas finishing Rafael Cerqueira, honestly. And then we got the next fight. Oh, there we go. About time. We got Ricky Simón making his way to the scale. You could definitely tell it was a rough weight cut. He's got the towel just in case. You could see it on his face. Rough weight cut for Ricky Simón.
Official weight 135 for Ricky Simón.
Let's go. He makes weight, though. Ricky Simón makes weight against Javid Basharat. Straight banger. And let's see if we got anybody else. We still have Abdul-Malik and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, the other half of the co-main event. This is not making me feel any better about my co-main event pick. And then you got the people in chat over here saying Alan Cardio. Oh, Lord. Oof. This is looking like a very rough weight cut for Anthony Hernandez. Yeah. Even the people in the chat are saying it. Fluffy never takes this long normally to weigh in, so let's hope he makes weight. I didn't even realize I was in the camera. Alright, well, let's continue with this fight odds. Where were we at? We were at Nursulton Ruziboev versus Eric McConico. Ruziboev sitting at a negative 260. Eric McConico sitting at a plus 220. I like Ruziboev sitting at a negative 260. I think we're going to see him outstrike Eric McConico because Eric McConico relies a little bit too much on brute strength rather than technique. And I see him trying to force these takedowns after getting hurt by Ruziboev on the feet and not being able to land them because Ruziboev has a relatively good takedown defense and relatively good grappling. So I like Ruziboev. I think he hurts McConico on the feet. I think that we could see McConico start panic shooting and Ruziboev catches him. I think that he catches him in the mix of him either shooting or throwing a overhand where he sometimes overextends and leaves himself open to counter strikes. And you cannot do that against Ruziboev. And we have the over 1.5 sitting at a negative 115, under 1.5 sitting at a negative 115 as well. I think that this fight ends early. I'm going to say under 2.5 is the call, sitting at a negative 285. I think that Ruziboev knocks out Eric McConico. I really do. I think that there's a lot of finishes that are going to be happening on this card. I think Ruziboev is definitely one of them. I think he knocks out Eric McConico. And we got the next fight in Ricky Simón versus Javid Basharat. And Javid Basharat sitting at a negative 212. The line actually started coming down a little bit, which is a little interesting to me. I think it'll definitely start heading back up there, seeing as That was a little bit of a rough weight cut for Ricky Simón. But I do think that this is going to be a very tit-for-tat back-and-forth battle between Ricky Simón and Javid Basharat. I do think that Javid Basharat is going to get the better of him via decision. I think that Basharat is the cleaner striker from the outside. I think that he's going to maintain that distance, keep Ricky Simón at bay, pepper him with shots, and beat him via decision. And sitting at a negative 212, Javid Basharat is honestly money straight down the middle. You don't even have to really parlay it to really get money, but you can. And then we have the over 1.5 sitting at a negative 750. Over 2.5 sitting at a negative 400. I like the overs. I think this hits the scorecards, and I think it's Javid Basharat getting the better of Ricky Simón, 29-28. And we got the next bout in Nick Klein versus Mansur Abdul-Malik. I like Mansur. Obviously, you can't play him at a negative 1200. Cannot play him at all. You could go ahead and do under 2.5 sitting at a negative 475. Under 1.5 sitting at a negative 200. I like both of those. I also really like Mansur via inside the distance sitting at a negative 475. I think he ends it via decision. I also could see him ending it via knockout sitting at a negative 250. But maybe you don't want to go straight down the right side in the sense of KO. Maybe you want to also include the submission because he could possibly club and sub Klein. So maybe take the inside the distance at negative 575, I believe. Negative 475. And then we got the next fight in Andre Fili versus Costa. I like Andre Fili sitting at a negative 101 and Costa sitting at a negative 119. The favor is starting to slide towards Costa. I think that Fili can get this done, though. I think he can outstrike a Costa and keep this on the feet with his grappling skill set. I really do. I think Costa has the grappling advantage, but I don't think it's like a huge skill gap in terms of grappling. So I got to go Andre Fili. He's been in there with some really, really tough competitors in Dan Ige and some other really well-known, really skilled fighters. So I like Andre Fili. Over 1.5 sitting at a negative 400 and over 2.5 sitting at a negative 210. Bro, overs in this Andre Fili fight, I feel like are a lock. I mean, negative 400 and a negative 210 for Andre Fili and Costa. I think that fight for sure hits the cards. I see Costa kind of using the grappling, maybe garnering some control time, eating away at that clock. But also, I see a lot of striking in the sense Fili kind of tagging him up. He's not really known to have the most dangerous power, and neither is Costa. So really, the finishing threat isn't really a threat as much. We could say Costa submits Fili. I mean, that's a little bit more likely, but I still think Fili's grappling defensively is still good enough to snub Costa, be able to keep this on the feet, be able to waste some of that clock, and get the decision win over Costa. I think that's the call. And Fili by decision sitting at a plus 190. Plus 190. I love those odds. I really think that Fili wins this via decision. I think it's going to be a very tit-for-tat close fight. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and absolutely destroy Costa. Still think it's going to be a very close fight, but I think Fili walks away with a 29-28 decision win over Costa. And then we got the next fight, in which is an absolute banger. I mean, I'm hyped as fuck on this fight. Ian Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. I mean, Ibo Aslan has over like 12 first-round knockouts. And then you have Cutelaba, who is very inconsistent. But to be honest, he's a gatekeeper. I mean, he goes in there and he destroys some really well fighters and then goes in there and kind of shits the bed with others. And I think that this is one of those ones where it's honestly a very close fight to call, but I think Ibo Aslan can beat Ian Cutelaba. I think Cutelaba is too inconsistent. We don't know which Cutelaba we're getting. I think Ibo Aslan is looking to put pressure, put a pace on Ian Cutelaba, kind of blitz him, because of the fact that Cutelaba, when he's blitzed, kind of shells up, if you will. So somebody like Ibo Aslan, you cannot shell up against, because if he lands that devastating shot, it's going to hurt you, and it's going to put you down on the mat. So I got to go with Ibo Aslan. I think he's going to deliver a knockout finish over Cutelaba. I think Cutelaba at times gets a little bit overzealous, leaving himself open to counter shots, and we could see Ibo Aslan counter him. But let's not forget, Ibo Aslan is the same way. He leaves himself open to counter shots as well. So this really is a slugging warfare, and whoever gets clipped first is going down. And I think it's going to be Ian Cutelaba going down. Sitting at a negative 178, I like Ibo Aslan. Ian Cutelaba sitting at a plus 153. I think that this is going to be an absolute warfare between these two. And overs in this fight are scary. Unders in this fight are scary. I would just stick away from the rounds in general on this fight, because we could see Cutelaba use some grappling. We could see Aslan land a brutal hook to put Cutelaba out. We could see Cutelaba land a hook to put Ibo Aslan out. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, so I would stick away from the rounds. But other than that, I got Ibo Aslan via knockout over Ian Cutelaba. And let's go ahead and run it to the next fight in Alonzo Menifield over Julius Walker. And I like Alonzo Menifield. I mean, he's coming off of 2 brutal knockouts, which is a little bit suspect in terms of his chin. We don't know how his chin is after those 2 brutal knockouts. But he has wins over Jimmy Crute and oh my gosh, why am I botching this right now? And Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby, which is a really, really skilled fighter. I mean, if you compare Dustin Jacoby to Julius Walker, who do you think's going to win that? Dustin Jacoby's going to beat the hell out of Julius Walker. And I think Alonzo Menifield is going to beat Julius Walker. I think that this is a perfect fight to come back on, and I think that he's going to deliver a win. I think that Julius Walker, if you guys watched on the scales, it was a little bit of a hard cut. He still looked good. He still made weight. But I think that we could see Alonzo Menifield use his brute strength to out-grapple Julius Walker. Not only that, we could see Alonzo Menifield landing the better strikes, the more damaging strikes. I think that damage is going to be one of the key aspects here, because if Alonzo Menifield lands, I don't see Julius Walker being able to eat any of those shots. I really don't. I think Julius Walker is a relatively well-rounded fighter, which... so is Alonzo Menifield. He does have a little bit suspect of grappling, but his takedown defense is decent. Take that with a grain of salt. I still think that Alonzo Menifield is going to be able to piece up Julius Walker on the feet. I think that I see him using some of that brute strength to keep Julius Walker's grappling out of the equation. That's why I like Alonzo Menifield. I think that he could deliver a knockout finish over Walker. I think that, like I said, power is the key aspect here, and I think Alonzo Menifield has the power and explosiveness advantage. And let's go ahead and run it to the next fight on this card in Gene Silva versus Melsik Baghdasaryan. I like Gene Silva. I almost said Baghdasaryan on accident. I'm in no way, shape, or form picking Baghdasaryan. Baghdasaryan is going to look to grapple here. Gene Silva has exceptional takedown defense, so I think that he's going to keep this on the feet, outstrike, outwork, outdamage Melsik Baghdasaryan, and knock his ass clean out. I think Gene Silva is special. I think his striking is like no other, and I think that he's going to put the paws on Melsik Baghdasaryan and absolutely clean his clock. So give me Gene Silva sitting at a negative 450. I think that, honestly, it's one of the most confident picks on this card, to be completely honest. I think skill for skill, he's a lot better than Baghdasaryan. He's been up against a better competition. He has the better striking, and he has really good grappling in the sense of takedown defense. And he can land some takedowns. It's not like he has no takedowns in his arsenal or no submissions. I think Gene Silva is a very, very well-rounded fighter. He's going to be looking to keep this on the feet, though. And he's going to absolutely clean Melsik Baghdasaryan's clock, like I said. And the over 1.5 sitting at a negative 180, under 1.5 sitting at a plus 150, over 2.5 sitting at a plus 100, under 2.5 sitting at a negative 117. I like the under 2.5 sitting at a negative 117. Honestly, I think that's great value. I think that Gene Silva is going to finish this fight early. Whether it's knockout or submission, I think it's going to be knockout. I think Gene Silva knocks out Melsik Baghdasaryan, and let's look at the odds on that. Silva sitting at a negative 120 for a knockout. The odds makers agree with me. They see it happening, and so do I. I think he counter hooks Baghdasaryan to put him clean out. And then we got the next fight in the featured fight of the night with Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. I like Rob Font. Rob Font just got done checking Kyler Phillips. And now everybody wants to write him off and say Gene Matsumoto is going to kick his ass. No! Gene Matsumoto is not going to beat Rob Font. Rob Font just beat Kyler Phillips. He had moments in that fight in terms of grappling. So I believe that grappling-wise, he has just as good as grappling as Gene Matsumoto. Even better striking. He's going to use that stiff jab of his to keep that distance between him and Matsumoto, keep Matsumoto at bay, and out-damage him. I really think that in terms of damage, Rob Font is going to put on a pace and put on... and out-damage him is what I'm trying to say, and really just break Matsumoto. I see him breaking Matsumoto because of the fact that his striking is just so much better. I mean, he's so elusive with his striking. He's very good at entering and exiting the pocket. He's got good head movement. I like Rob Font. Matsumoto has good striking with good kicks from the outside, but I don't know. I think Rob Font has a striking advantage. I think in terms of grappling, you could give it to Matsumoto, but I still think Rob Font will be able to fare just as well in the grappling department. I think Kyler Phillips had better grappling than Matsumoto, and Rob Font dealt with his grappling. So I gotta say Rob Font gets the better of Matsumoto. Sitting at a plus 130, it's absolutely insane to me that he's plus money, but gotta love it. I mean, Rob Font at plus money, taking that for sure. Gene Matsumoto sitting at a negative 150. I like this fight. I think that this is going to be a banger where Rob Font gets the better of Gene Matsumoto. I think this hits the cards, and I think it's Rob Font getting the better. Over 1.5 sitting at a negative 700. Over 2.5 sitting at a negative 400. I like the overs in this fight. I think it's going to be a very tit-for-tat back-and-forth battle where Rob Font walks away with the W over Gene Matsumoto. And then in the next fight, which is the co-main event between Brendan Allen and Anthony Hernandez, I have Anthony Hernandez. I think that striking-wise, he's a lot better of a striker than Brendan Allen. I think grappling-wise, they're pretty much even in terms of grappling. I think that maybe Anthony Hernandez has a little bit quicker of transitions, which is why I give him a slight, very, very slight, subtle edge in the grappling, but I still think that they're basically even in terms of grappling, and I think Anthony has the better striking. He's a lot slicker. He's got the knockout power that I believe Brendan Allen really doesn't have or showcase much. I like Anthony Hernandez. I think he's going to put the paws on Brendan Allen. I think he's going to use the grappling to keep to his feet. We might see a little bit of grappling from him in the sense of as Brendan Allen's trying to take him down, we could see a little bit of reversals coming from him, landing the takedowns himself, garnering that control time, and beating Brendan Allen, which he has done so before. So keep that in mind. Anthony Hernandez sitting at a negative 330. Brendan Allen sitting at a plus 270. I like Anthony Hernandez. Over 1.5 sitting at a negative 310. Over 2.5 sitting at a negative 185. I like the overs, but I will caution because I do think that Anthony Hernandez could land a knockout on Brendan Allen. I really do believe so. I really think that his counter-striking abilities are better than Brendan Allen. I think that his knockout power is better. I think his explosiveness is better. I think his footwork is phenomenal in the sense of entering and exiting the pocket. I really think Anthony Hernandez could land that knockout shot. I mean, he's fought him before. He knows all of his moves, along with Brendan Allen knowing all of Anthony Hernandez's moves, but I don't know. I really think that Anthony Hernandez could land that knockout. I'm going to say it ends via decision. But I do think that he is live to land the knockout at plus 550 is insane to me. Because he does have some devastating knockout power and some nice, quick hands. And let's throw it to the main event of the evening. And if you guys haven't, make sure you guys like and subscribe and join the flock. Join the members. We got members-only live streams, members-only shorts, members-only Discord, members-only group bets every Wednesday. So make sure you guys tune in, join up in the description, and let's go ahead and throw it to the main event in Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Song Yadong sitting at a negative 265. Henry Cejudo sitting at a plus 225. I like Song Yadong over Henry Cejudo. I think that Song Yadong is surging. He's up and coming. He lost to Petr Yan in a very tit-for-tat, close back-and-forth battle. And I think he could get it here. I think he can get it done here against Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo, at this later end of his career, really is a part-time fighter. I'm going to be completely honest. He's got a lot of extracurricular activities outside of fighting. He's got the podcast with Usman. He's got other things that he's doing. And he's smoking outside of camp. So that is something else to note. I really think that Henry Cejudo, though wanting to go for that third run to the title, I don't see it happening. I think Song Yadong is going to beat him. I think Song Yadong is going to finish him, to be completely honest. I think that Song Yadong is thriving. He's an up-and-coming prospect with devastating knockout power. He's got quick, clean combinations. He's got really fast hands. And I think that he could deliver here against Henry Cejudo. Song Yadong had moments in the grappling against Petr Yan. I get Henry Cejudo is a very, very well-versed grappler, but I think Song Yadong is good enough to keep this on the feet, even land some of his own. I think that he's going to be stronger than Cejudo. I think that in terms of striking, he has the striking edge. I think that he's quicker on the feet over Cejudo, and Cejudo's 38. I get that he looked decent in his previous fights against Merab, where he got absolutely dominated, and then against Aljamain, where it was a tit-for-tat fight. But I just think that he's coming to the later end of his career, whereas Song Yadong has been progressively improving, been progressively looking better. I think that Song Yadong ends it via technical knockout. I see Song Yadong landing an overhand, putting out Henry Cejudo, or ending it via ground and pound. And that is ultimately my call. So if you guys haven't, make sure you guys like and subscribe as we go ahead and wait for the remaining fighters. I mean, we have gone through the entire card, breaking it down. Then we went with the fight odds, breaking that down. And now we're still waiting for these fighters to weigh in. We still need the other half of the co-main event with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which is my pick. And we still need the other fighter in Mansur Abdul-Malik. Wow. It's looking like it's like a super, super awful weight cut for them two. For Malik and for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which is not the greatest look. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We are waiting for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez and Abdul-Malik to weigh in. Yeah, dude. I am very, very worried right now. We have both of them haven't been weighed in, and we do not need a call-off of a fight, especially on this card. If we have the co-main event dropped off, that's a huge hit, man. I get you still have the Rob Font and the Gene Matsumoto fight, but dude, Anthony Hernandez versus Brendan Allen is a great matchup that everybody wants to see. I mean, it's a rematch. Everybody in the comments saying the same thing. This isn't looking good. If you guys are tuning in, type in the chat. So far, everybody has made weight, besides two fighters, which are Mansur Abdul-Malik and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which is definitely worrisome because we have the co-main event in jeopardy, possibly. And we could possibly see Rob Font, Gene Matsumoto moved up to the co-main event. If they did that, what would they do? So let's just say we took out Brendan Allen. We move up Rob Font, Gene Matsumoto to the co-main. Then you have to move one of the fights over here to the main event. If I'm moving any fight to the main event, you could do Ricky Simone, Basharat, or Cutelaba, Ibo Aslan. Both of those fights could possibly get moved up to the main card in the event that the co-main event between Brendan Allen and Anthony Hernandez is canceled. I see that as a possibility. Either Simone and Basharat or Cutelaba and Ibo Aslan get moved up to the main event, which would be a banger. I mean, Ibo Aslan and Ian Cutelaba is going to be fireworks. Wow. If you guys are tuned into chat, how long do the fighters have until they, until the time's up? Until they can't weigh in anymore? If you guys know, type in the chat, let me know. Because I really want to know. Let's look this up real quick. UFC weigh-ins. Time limit. Between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. local. Okay, that doesn't help. And could weigh in again in the second hour if they missed weight. So they have a 2-hour weigh-in window. And how long has this been going on? For an hour? Damn. So we still have another hour to wait before they could possibly be weighed in. We got people over here saying Ibo Aslan chomp. Y'all, did any of you guys see when an Ibo Aslan fan ended up hacking Dustin Poirier, started posting a bunch of Ibo Aslan clips? It's kind of hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Ibo Aslan has a lot of hype, man. He does. He has a lot of hype on him. I'm excited to see if he can deliver. If he can get through Ian Cutelaba, I mean, it's going to be pretty impressive. But it's definitely going to show that he has a lot more potential than some people thought. People in chat, Umar can be triple champ. No. Everybody's talking about double champ, triple champ. How do you guys feel about Ilia Topuria moving up? He is moving up, in my opinion, to face Dustin Poirier. I think that's the match to make. Him versus Dustin Poirier would be absolutely insane. I think that that's a matchup to make because of the fact that I think Oliveira versus Sarukian is going to get a rematch. I think that they're going to end up rematching. So that leaves literally Dustin Poirier, Islam. I don't see them throwing him straight into a title fight. I feel like that's a little overzealous. And it could ultimately, I feel like, destroy the hype on Ilia. Because if he goes in there and loses to Islam, then it's like, okay, we kind of saw that happening, but maybe we didn't. Versus if he goes in there against Dustin Poirier, knocks Dustin Poirier out, or finishes him, whether it be submission, knockout, he's building a huge hype for the Islam versus him fight. I think that's the way to go. I really do. Him versus Dustin Poirier, and I think he can finish Dustin Poirier. I think he can knock Dustin Poirier out, and that would build the hype between him and Islam like crazy. Everybody would be wanting to see that fight if him and Dustin Poirier happened, and he finished Dustin Poirier. Let's go. We still got a while. As we wait for Mansur Abdul-Malik to get weighed in, as well as the other half of the co-main event in Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. If you guys are tuning in and you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. I do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I'm going to start doing lives for the weigh-ins. And then Saturdays, I'm always live for the main card. So make sure you guys tune in. Still yet to weigh in is Anthony Hernandez and Mansur Abdul-Malik. Let's go. Somebody in chat said, we've been waiting for half an hour. I'm bored. Oh. Brother, we still got a huge window left. 72 minutes. Still got like 30 minutes left, 20 minutes left before the window closes. Or no, that's an hour and a half. I'm tripping. Still got plenty of time. 50 minutes, 48 minutes left. Oh, guys, somebody in chat said, why the favorite fighters taking so long to come out and make weight? I have 2 of those mofos in my parlay. I'm about to cash out. Brother. Oh. This is making me nervous, though. I thought Anthony Fluffy Hernandez was in my confident picks. And him taking so long to weigh in versus where he normally doesn't have this long of a wait to weigh in, I think it's showing that it's definitely a hard weight cut. I hope this bout does not get canceled. I really do. I hope this co-main event doesn't get canceled. If you guys are new, hit that like and subscribe button. As we wait for the last weigh-ins. Why is Floofy? Where the fuck is Floofy at? Where is Floofy? Wow, man. Damn it. We cannot have a cancellation of the co-main event. What is this? Oh, let's go. We got a member. Shonda. We got our very first member of the stream. Make sure you guys type in the chat W member. Man. Oh, this is not looking good. This is literally looking like the co-main event is possibly getting canceled. Come on. Go. We got our first member of the stream with Shonda. Let's go. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll be right back. If the fighters come up to be weighed, you will hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up so that you guys can hear it. I don't think the fighters are gonna be here just yet, but I'll be right back. Oh, hold on. No, no fighters are coming yet. Be right back.
Next to the scale, Mansur Abdul-Malik. Official weight 186 pounds for Mansur Abdul-Malik.
Let's go. Mansur Abdul-Malik. Hold on. What happened? I missed it. I'm going to go back. There we go. Let's see. We got Mansur Abdul-Malik. Even though you guys probably already heard it, I need to make sure. Did he make weight?
186 even. Official weight 186 pounds for Mansur Abdul-Malik.
Everybody besides Anthony Hernandez has been weighed in. This is not good. This is not good at all. We are looking at a possible cancellation of the co-main event. Wow. Mansur Abdul-Malik just weighed in, and now the last one is only Anthony Hernandez. He's the last person to get weighed in, if he's even weighed in at all. Could see a cancellation, like I said. Wow, wow, wow. I don't want a cancellation. Cannot afford a cancellation. If you guys are tuning in and you guys are new, we got UFC Seattle weigh-ins going down with the last person being Anthony Hernandez, the other half of the co-main event. Wow, this sucks. Are we gonna see Anthony Hernandez make weight or not? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and chill here until we see if the co-main event is canceled or not. Just gonna chill. If you guys got any comments or anything you want me to answer, go ahead and drop them down below and I'll answer them. Alright. Oh, we got somebody in chat. Christian, who do you have in the Font versus Matsumoto fight? I said this previously, but I am going with Font. I think Font is the better striker. I think that he's been up against a better competition. I mean, he has the win over Kyler Phillips, where everybody just kind of wants to throw that to the side, even though everybody thought Kyler Phillips was next up and was going to be making a title shot. He's going to be working his way up to a title shot is what I'm trying to say. But Rob Font ended up going in there. He's a 37-year-old that looks like he's 20, in his 20s, fighting like a prospect, and he just isn't losing it, to be completely honest. If anything, he looks phenomenal. His striking, his jab looks quick, clean. I think he's going to use that jab here against Gene Matsumoto, really keep him at bay, maintain that distance, and if he tries to enter and exit the pocket, we could see some counter striking from Rob Font. And I think damage is going to be one of the aspects here. I think that Rob Font is going to be able to damage Gene Matsumoto. I think he's going to put him in really rough positions that he's not going to like, and it's going to make him feel very uncomfortable, and he's not going to be used to it. And that's why I got to go with Rob Font. I think that the wins from Matsumoto being Brad Katona and Dan Argueta, I mean, those guys are nowhere near the skill level of Rob Font. Brad Katona, the two-time tough winner. Then you have Dan Argueta, who is a relatively mediocre fighter. I mean, to be completely honest. So I got to go with Rob Font. I think Rob Font is going to absolutely piece and pick apart Gene Matsumoto. I do think it's going to be a very close tit-for-tat fight, but I think it's going to be Rob Font walking away with the decision victory. What's up, Savage? We still got one more fighter, bro. We're waiting for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I honestly think that the co-main event might get canceled. They literally have a good another fight to fall back on with Rob Font and Gene Matsumoto. But I hope it doesn't get canceled, because that would suck. I really want to see the rematch between Hernandez and Brendan Allen. Oh, I'm low-key under the weather. I feel like shit. Bruh. Yeah. That's it. That's it, Savage. That's it, Savage. Ban him. Ban him. Get him the fuck out of here. This guy. Bro, I do not look like Matt Rife at all. Like, whatsoever. I look nothing like him. Dude, that is so funny. Whew. If you guys are new and you guys are just tuning in, like and subscribe as we wait for Fluffy Hernandez. And if you bet him, you should not feel the most comfortable right now. Come on. Let's go. Bro, at this point, I'm about to go weigh in. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm about to go weigh in for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. This guy is taking 2 hours to make weight. Obviously, it's a rough weight cut. But hopefully we still get the fight. Come on. Hernandez beating Allen 100%. I mean, if that fight even happens at this point. Oh my gosh. If you guys are tuning in, we're just chilling, relaxing. We went over the card earlier in the stream. If you guys want to go ahead and go back and look at that, we went over the full fight card as well as the betting odds for this fight card. As we waited for some others to make weight, everybody made weight. The last person to make weight is Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. He has not been on the scale yet. We have been waiting for him to come out. We do not know if the co-main event is in jeopardy, because it is seeming like it as of right now, which I really hope is not the case, because this card would take a huge hit without that co-main event. Given they have that featured fight of the night with the Matsumoto and Rob Font, I still want to see the Brendan Allen versus Fluffy. I mean, Fluffy literally has consistently gotten better, has consistently been improving, and then Brendan Allen literally just went toe-to-toe with Nasruddin Imavov, who beat Israel Adesanya. I mean, dude, that's a banger fight that I'm sure everybody wants to see. Wow. Cardio could be a factor if Fluffy comes in heavy. Damn. A little under weather. I am a little under the weather. I feel a little like shit. But I am still bringing the content to you guys. Still bringing the content as we wait for Fluffy Hernandez to get up in there. Come on. No one missed weight. And now we just got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez next. Come on, we got 30 minutes of just sitting here doing nothing because this guy can't make weight. What are we doing? I'm dying over here. Like, what are we doing? My attention span is the span of a squirrel. I am sitting here waiting for this guy to weigh in. And he's still got how long? 29 minutes left to make the weight. We got 29 minutes of sitting here until he possibly makes the weight. All right. Hold on. It's okay. Sorry, guys. I need to eat. You know, young bull gotta eat, you know? Young bull gotta eat. Spit this shit out, too. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And type in the chat. Let me know what y'all are up to, what you guys are doing, who you got for the main and co-main event. Oh, come on. Please, Fluffy. Please make weight. Everybody's in the chat saying Pro Allen had a close fight with Chris Curtis. I guess everybody's on the Fluffy side as well. They're just sitting here talking on the stream. Let's go. Dude, we still got a good 26 minutes for Fluffy to make weight. Allen got TKO'd by Pillow Hand Strickland. Bro, some of these comments are wild. Damn, dude. Oh my gosh. At this point, just let us know if the fight's off or what's going on. He's trying to make weight. Doesn't seem like he's going to make weight. Damn. Whew. If you guys are new and tuning in, I am eating as we wait for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez still to make weight. Come on. All right, there we go. Finish my food. Now we're just chilling here. At this point, I might as well stream at the gym. I could just stream at the gym while we're waiting for this guy to hopefully make weight at this point. I don't know what is going on. But 23 minutes to go. Ooh. Excuse me. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button and type in the chat. We're all just chilling here waiting for the last fighter to weigh in. So just type in the chat if you got any questions or anything you want answered about the fighters, or if you want any bets. Just type in the chat. Two o'clock is the drop off. If he does not make weight by 2 o'clock, he is not fighting. Oh, there we go. Just kidding. They moved the camera to the right, so I thought somebody was about to be announced. But no. The trickery begins. Had me a little bit hyped right there. I thought they were about to, weigh in. And if you guys are tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like button and join me in a Ripski. That's that good. CBD. Woo. Damn, that shit hit back. I feel like I'm getting 29-28 by my pen at this point. What the hell is going on? Ugh. We got 20 more minutes until the cutoff. 20 minutes until the cut off. There we go. Come on. Nothing yet. Dude, where the hell is Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, man? Ooh. We went through literally everything we could go through. Went through the fight odds. Went through all the fights and broke them down. And 8. And we still got time over here. Let's go. 19 minutes. 19 minutes until we figure out if this co-main event is canceled or if it continues on. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. They are talking as we wait still. I mean, there's not much to do besides sit here and wait. We had everybody make weight on the card besides Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which has taken easily the longest time out of any single fighter. This could be due to the fact of poor weight cutting. I mean, this is actually ridiculous. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and update everybody in here. I'm going to add in the weights of the fighters into the description. Where is all of the weights? I do not want a weigh-in video. I want the weigh-in results. Let's go. There we go. Weights. The weights are there. Oof. Let's go. Modestas Bukauskas 204. Rafael 203. Bukauskas 204. Yep. Okay. 204. $203. Alright, what did Mansur weigh in at? Mansur Abdul-Malik. There it is. Mansur Abdul-Malik. 186. As well as Nick Klein, 186. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We still have 23 minutes. Oh my. Come on. Allen versus Fluffy Hernandez is in desperate need of a freaking fighter at this point. Because Hernandez looks like he's not going to make weight. Fluffy cutting down from 250 pounds. Yeah, seriously. 12 minutes left. Let's go. Fluffy is seeming like he's going to be out. This does not seem like he's going to be making weight. Ilya is pretty much going to be out for 8 months yet again. Wow. This card was going so good. Everybody was hopping in there, making weight. Then we had Abdul show up a little bit late, but still showed up. And now we've been waiting for over half an hour on just one fighter, I feel like, which is Anthony Hernandez. $10 left is what it seems like until the fight is ultimately called off, because that's when the window closes. They got a 2-hour wait window. Damn, dude. This fight is definitely going to be called off. I really don't see him making weight. I mean, in 10 minutes, he's been having like 50 minutes, unless he's like 0.1 off. I mean, 0.2 off. He really is just not looking like he's going to be fighting. Which is a huge hit to this Seattle card. Pereira versus Anklaev, Volk versus Lopez, Bilal versus JDM. Yeah, we got some very, very great matchups, honestly, on the way. JDM versus Bilal is a shitty matchup, but, you know, Shavkat can't fight, so you got to do what you got to do. JDM has shitty grappling. And he's going up against Bilal. He's gonna get absolutely grapple fucked. A dude named Fluffy struggling with weight doesn't sound crazy. That's hilarious. Got 9 more minutes. Although there is rumors of Cejudo had some issues, and also McConico looked a little derailed while making weight. Yep. Just some of the notes. Some rough weight cuts. If you guys are new and tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button as we wait the last 8 minutes for what is a possible cancellation of the co-main event. This is crazy. could have been any other fight, but it has to be the co-main event, man. Eight more minutes. If you guys are tuning in, type in the chat who you guys have for the main and co-main event of UFC Seattle. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. And Brendan Allen versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, even though that fight might get canceled. Let's go. 12 more minutes. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Move Aslan versus Cutelaba to the main card. Come on. That's what we gotta do. Move Aslan versus Cutelaba to the main card. Either that or Basharat versus Simone. Either one of those two fights are definitely live to be in the main card. Fluffy crashing out. Fluffy, not fluffy no more. Everybody in chat is waiting along as well. I mean, dude, we're coming to the last few minutes of this weigh-in. So if he fails to make it, we are going to see a cancellation. Fluffy versus McDonald's drive-thru. That's devious. That is devious. We got about 5 more minutes. About 5 to 8 more minutes, somewhere around there. Okay. The guy just stated that he will be on the scale before time's up. Oh, shit. It seems like Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is actually going to weigh in. Seeming like a super, super rough cut, though. Somebody said clinch them cheeks. Oh, Lord. Fluffy is about to weigh in. According to one of the workers there, he stated that he was going to weigh in right before. So let's see. He's going to weigh in right before the time is up. He's trying to get as much weight off of him as he can. Probably going in and out the sauna All types of stuff. He might even have to cut hair. We got about like four minutes left, I'd say. Ooh. Let's go. Let it go. Get out, D. Come on, come on. Come on, Fluffy Hernandez. Dude, we need to see him make weight. Dude, this person's dumb. All right. We got like legitimately like 2 to 3 minutes left before this fight is either canceled or they're going to try and probably try and see if they can make weight last second, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. Five minutes. 5 minutes left. Seems like the time is dying down. Dude, they're about to wheel out Fluffy Hernandez, make him stand up there. Oh, he's coming. Here he comes. Let's go. Rough weight cut for Anthony Hernandez. He looks rough up there. Oh, my. Came in with the towel. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank God, bro. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez makes weight. Finally, after over a half hour of waiting for him, he comes out and he actually makes weight, and he looks happy for sure. I mean, I guess it was definitely rough. Honestly, he doesn't look in the roughest of shape.
186 for Anthony Hernandez.
186. Let's go. He really didn't look that rough on the scales, though. Like, for as long as it took him to make that weight, he didn't look super, like, drained on the scale. He still looked healthy. He still looked fit, lean, jacked. I like this. I'm glad that that co-main event didn't get canceled. Everybody on the card ended up making weight. I will have the weights in the description below, as well as my members only. So make sure you guys join up, as well as smash that like and subscribe button, and let me know what you think of the stream in the comments. Peace.